Welcome back to Soul Reconciliation. My name is Maris and I am your journey facilitator. And in the last session, we opened up with talking about our childhood or our teen years, and that did we feel that all of our needs or wants were provided for by our parents. And so for some of us, that was a little bit of an experience because we didn't know anything outside of what we were living. And thus we have to use hindsight to look at it. And one of the things that I recognized was that I really never knew what my parents' financial status was, but all of our needs were always met or exceeded. So physically, I believe that all of those things were taken care of. How did you respond? Did you experiencing things on more of a physical level, or were you focusing on the emotional or mental aspect of did your parents provide and take care of your needs and wants? Or did you look at even the spiritual aspect of it? Not that most kids really think on a spiritual level. They're thinking on the more of the nurturing or the physical nurturing as well as the emotional nurturing, but not so much on the spiritual part. They really don't start to examine that until real much older. But think about how you responded, and it's perfectly acceptable to go back and review that and add in little notes as things come up. That's the great part about journaling, whether you're doing it on pen and paper or if you're doing it on your computer, on your word or word pad, whatever way you want to do it. It's a great way to do it, but you want to make sure that you have some kind of documentation so you can go back and review it, especially as things start to progress and you begin more of a release of those things that have been holding you back and bond. Okay, today might be just a little bit more sensitive. We're still doing reflection upon, going back into our child and teenage years and examining, how we experience things during that time. And so today, this is one of the first thing that we're going to think about going when we go back into our childhood or teen years. Are there things or events that still make us sad or angry today? Now, most of the time we're going to be focusing or looking at things that we haven't quite resolved. And for those of you that are beginning this soul reconciliation shadow work journey with me, I have a question for you. I'm asking that we not only look at our childhood and our teen years, but I want you to examine your 20s, when you were in your 20s, and that whole decade. Are there things or experiences that occurred during that time that still make you feel sad and angry today? This is going to be a tough assignment, and it might feel a little uncomfortable doing it. So when you're working on it, if you start to feel some anxiety, step away for a moment. Go do a little task, wash your hands, drink some water, meditate, play with your rocks and stones, something really cool, ground yourself, and then return back to it. But I want you to examine what was that trigger? What was that trigger for that anxiety or uncomfortableness looking at our past and those things that we're still angry or sad about today? All right, so that's your assignment, and I hope you have a most wonderful day. I'm going to give it a couple of days for you to work on so that you're not so overwhelmed by some of those emotions creeping up. Have a great afternoon.